The views, information, and opinions expressed during the following program are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent the views of Access Communications, its representatives, or its employees.
Good evening, everyone. We will call this regular council meeting of May the 12th, 2025 to order. Up first, can we have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented? Councillor Vroba, second by Councillor Mouse. All in favor? Carried. Can we have a motion to accept the regular minutes of April 28th, 2025? Councillor Dubowski, Councillor Johnson, all in favor? And thank you, Councillor Johnson, for running the show last time. Much appreciated. Up first are under original communications, delegations, and petitions. LB Liquor Store proposed stall rental discussion. Tonight we are joined by Brandon and Matt. Did you guys want to touch base on it here quickly?
Sure thing. So you may have noticed in early April, the LB Liquor Store on King Street at the mall started renting out U-Haul trucks and trailers. The original intention of this was just a supplementary part to our business to assist us honestly with the delivery of alcohol to commercial clients in Estevan and area. We quickly learned that there was a huge need in Estevan for this service. There's only one other U-Haul neighborhood dealer in Estevan after the furniture store closed. Yeah. And we received in 4 weeks over 40 inquiries and 20 rentals for U-Haul trucks and trailers. And it became a significant part of our day and our operation. The mall owner was not on side with having that many units available in that location. So we worked with U-Haul to get the units removed in the short term, and we are looking at maybe relocating that business to downtown and operating out of our express liquor store, and then using some stalls in one of the 2 vacant lots where the old Cal Tire was behind the TD Bank.
Okay. Oh, excellent. I'm glad to see somebody picked up the business. I was wondering who was going to do that, so that's good. Do we have any questions? Councillor Vroba?
Thank you, Worship. So do you have any other alternative locations? Because I did notice when you guys had your U-Hauls at the mall, and I thought, I didn't know if that really looked great for the mall parking lot. And I'm questioning if it's really going to look great in that location as well. Because in the past, we had a automotive shop there and a garage, and now it's gone. And it's kind of, with the revitalization of downtown, I'm not sure if I want to see more of a truck kind of business there. However, I think it's a great business for Estevan. So I think that I would personally like us to work with you to try and find a suitable location. So would it be possible that you still rent them from either one or both of your locations, but then have them go to another location to pick up the vehicle?
I don't think it's really possible because you have to, for liability reasons, you have to be able to hook up that it's a trailer to the vehicle, and you have to prove that the U-Haul dealer did it for liability purposes. So it's not really viable to have our staff drive over to a remote location with the customer.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
So there is another location that I was thinking on 5th Street, which is it's a privately owned business. I just wonder if we could table this for this moment until next meeting, and if we could work at possibly trying to find a few different locations that would be suitable, but also near one of your locations to be able to do that.
We're certainly open to it. Like I say, that our primary business is the sale of beverage alcohol. And when we started to do this as a supplementary business and then saw the huge demand in Estevan, we realized we were going to have to make an adjustment. The mall was okay with us having a few units, which is what our original intention was, and then the volume of demand, and we're not even in the busy months, according to our U-Haul rep, was far exceeded our expectations. So we're open to different locations. The farther we go from one of our retail stores, though, the more challenges it presents to us in terms of staffing and how far that staff member would need to go, especially in the middle of winter if they have to hook up a trailer. So we're open to it, I guess, but it just can't be too far.
Okay. Can I make a motion then that we table this for future discussion?
Okay. Do we have a seconder to that? Second that motion? Any other questions, comments to it? Councillor Johnson?
Yeah. Just to further get some clarification on your timelines, when do you have to be out of there, moved off the mall parking lot with those U-Hauls?
We already have moved them all off, so they've been moved to the other storage business in town. Has all of the units. The problem is the storage business only has very limited hours of operation, which is why we saw so many customers come to our location, because we are open 7 days a week and have extended hours. So we've removed the vehicles as per direction from the mall, but we've told the U-Haul representative that we've come to council to seek alternate arrangements for parking.
Okay.
So we'd like a solution sooner than later to get back to them, obviously, as we go into the busy season.
Yeah.
Okay, Councillor Mouse?
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Cernick. Just wondering, roughly how many parking spots do you need? Just so we've got a kind of
For sure.
rough idea.
Yeah, we proposed 10 parking stalls. U-Haul is able to manage it down to whatever the maximum stalls that were permitted. I think the minimum we would need is maybe 6, but even that probably wouldn't meet the demand. So we came forward with 10 as our proposal.
Okay, so Councillor Laser?
Thank you, Your Worship. Has there been discussion with BID or the DBA on the use of those parking stalls, and what was their feedback?
We haven't spoken to the BID or the DBA in particular around it. We are members of the DBA, so we did speak about it at our last meeting, but there was no real, there was no motion or official opinion, is what I would say.
Thank you.
Okay.
I would like to ask that we consult both groups prior to discussing this further.
Okay, and we're just gonna table it until 26th? Correct? Is that? Yeah, that's okay. All in favor? Carried. We'll table it for a couple of weeks here and try to find a solution, I think, and hopefully on the 26th, we'll have the definite answer for you.
Sounds good.
So, thanks for
If you guys
coming in
need
tonight.
information, let us know.
Excellent, thank you. Up next, the Lions request for discussion on Rusty Deuce donation. We are with Travis and Gary tonight, so you guys want to give us a little rundown on what you're looking for?
So Jeff and I have actually spoke prior to council, and I think you guys have maybe been brought full circle into this. The procurement team that Jeff has looked into it. We've been fundraising for, I'm going to say 2.5 years, trying to put in a permanent rink board system due to lack of volunteers to upgrade the rink at Rusty Deuce, the Lions rink, I'll call it, I guess. One of the things we've run into is coming into this year, we'd hoped to have funds complete for 2025 and start construction for fall of 2025, or have construction complete. What we've run into is inflation and increased costs with that. So what I proposed to Jeff and what I'm bringing to council is we're looking at a total cost of 165, I think, is the total cost, if I remember correctly. I don't have the quote in front of me, but and we have 110, between 110 and 115 in the bank currently allocated for the project. So basically what we're proposing to the city is if we can fund the project on a loan or an interest-free loan for up to 5 years, we're anticipating by the end of 2026 it would be paid out due to our local Lions lottery. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Do we have questions? Anybody? Councilor Laser?
Thank you for coming tonight, and we were out on the site again today. I think it'll be a welcome addition to that area of the community. My concern is that often once these projects get started, there's overruns attached. Is the Lions Club prepared to extend their loan from the city to cover those overages?
Yeah, I would have to take that back to the club in general, but yeah, we were anticipating 170 was kind of the budget mark we had hit when we first started planning, between 130 and 170. So we were kind of preparing for overages, but I would have to take that to the club too.
Excellent. Okay, yeah, I love the project. You guys have already raised a ton of money, so Do we have a motion? Councillor Verba.
I'll make the motion that we proceed with this project, give the Lions the $55,000 interest-free loan, payable back over the 5 years, or maximum 5 years, and with the little caveat that basically if there are any overages, that you guys would be, that would be added on to the interest-free loan, and just, even if we had to extend it, but for now it'd be the 5 years.
Excellent. Seconder for that motion, Councillor Johnson.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any more questions, comments out there? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. You got her.
Thank you guys very much.
Excellent. Thanks for coming in tonight. Up next, Virtus Group audited financial statements. The floor is yours, Neil.
Great, thank you very much. So we're here to present our audited financial statements for the City of Estevan for the 2024 year. We are issuing a clean or clear audit opinion on the statements themselves, identifying that there were no material misstatements or errors that were identified. We were on site in March for a few days and everything went smooth working with the team and everybody here. And I'll just speak to the statement of financial position and the statement of operations in detail, a couple of the larger account changes there. So this would be on the first page of the statements. And just a few of the larger changes: taxes receivable increased slightly, mainly due to a few larger payers getting older. We didn't identify any concerns with the amounts as the individual amounts per property were well under any appraised value, so there was no concern that the balance increasing there. We do see an increase to the other accounts receivable, and that's really due to the downtown revitalization project and some amounts that were receivable from the government at the time. So it's a bit of an ongoing trend throughout the statements, that a little bit of a one-off blip this year. And then our assets held for sale did decrease slightly, primarily due to one lot that was granted to a not-for-profit group at less than market value, which I believe was council's decision to support the organization that way. Looking at the liabilities, again, we see an increase to accounts payable, and really that's driven by the downtown revitalization, with the last invoice in December, as well as the holdbacks on the project that build up throughout and then will be repaid at the end. Deferred revenue has a slight increase just with the growth in the Canada Community Builds Fund, as well as the economic development funding that was received close to year end for the upcoming years. There's a slight increase in long-term debt, just additional debt that was taken on with the downtown project. And then in the non-financial assets, prepayments and deferred charges increased last year just due to deposit on some capital assets. That was a one-off event, so that's why we didn't see it again this year. And that would be it on the statement of financial positions. Does anybody have any questions on that just before I go on to the next part?
Seeing none.
Okay. So on our statement of operations, so this is just the revenue and expenses for the city. On the revenue side, our tangible capital asset sales, really driven by trade and value of vehicles. So not that the city was selling a lot of assets, it was one or two larger pieces that were traded in for well above their book value. And then the land sale, we see that write down for the lot that was given to the not-for-profit group. And the one in other revenue that increased significantly from last year is just a bit of a catch-all for various grants. And this year there was a significant HVAC grant that was received from the federal government. So again, a bit of a one-off activity there. On the expense side, a lot that were very similar to kind of prior years. The one thing that is noticeable, obviously, is our comparison to budget is very significant. The cause for that is for amortization. So when the city does its budgeting, amortization is not budgeted for. It's budgeted more so on a cash basis. So that's what's driving that difference. It's not that we're not following or sticking to budget. If you look at each of the detailed schedules, a lot of those variances are explained by amortization, and not budgeting for amortization is common for lots of municipalities and other groups in general. And the other one that obviously is fairly different is the provincial and federal grants, really driven by the downtown revitalization project. There was, I think, there wasn't any payments received last year. So a lot of that activity in 2024, and then we'll see a little bit carry over into 2025. So that's why I see that blip in there this year. And also is what's really driving our revenue to be significantly higher. The cause for that is that we have to recognize the revenue from grants under the accounting standards that the city operates under, whereas the actual expenses for those are in those capital assets and will be recognized over time through amortization. So that's why it looks so significantly high, is because we just don't have the related expenses in there in our capital assets this year, and will slowly be brought in over time. I won't be going through the notes or the schedules in detail, but if anybody has any questions on the statements or anything else, I'd be happy to answer.
All right. Have any questions out there? Seeing none, your report must have been that good, so could we...
Did something right, that's all.
Good. Could we have a motion to accept the financial statements? Councillor Waleser, Councillor Elliott. So no questions or comments out there, all in favor? Carried. We're good for another year. Trudy just started breathing again. Excellent, thanks Neil, thanks. Up next, we have the Black Grasshopper event permit for September the 6th, parking lot party. Do we have a motion? Oh, we got it. Oh. Okay, so do we have a motion to accept this for the Black Grasshopper? Councillor Elliott, seconded by Councillor Varoba. Questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Moving right along, Estevan Regional Library minutes of April 15th, 2025. Does anybody have anything to add to these? Everybody's quiet tonight, that's what we like to see. Do we have a motion to accept the library report as presented? Councillor Dubowski, seconded by Councillor Elliott. All in favor? Carried. Executive reports, Water Services Manager, Water Quality Report for April 2025. Do we have a motion to accept this quality report? Councillor Mouse, Councillor Dubowski. Questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Land Development Building Permit Report for the month of April 2025. Do we have a motion to accept this? Councillor Waleser, Councillor Johnson. Questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Introduction of bylaws. Trina, can you join us at the microphone? You have a few of them tonight there, Trina. So do you want to just touch base on all of them and give us your rundown?
Okay, so I'll start with the taxation bylaw. So I would like to touch on some of the changes and impacts of the 2025 reevaluation as this reevaluation saw some significant shifts in assessment. The City of Estevan is unique in the sense that we experienced one of the highest shifts in assessment given the positive and negative economic impacts affecting the market. The difference in taxable assessment from 2024 to 2025 saw a decrease of $30.7 billion. In the mill rate, if the mill rate remained the same as 2024, the city would see a deficit of approximately $1 million. Therefore, it was necessary to analyze each property classification and assessment to establish new subclasses and rates to compensate for shifts while keeping all property taxes in line with our budget. We have spent the last month analyzing, researching, and reviewing other cities' taxation methods. These are some of the changes we have made as a result. So the residential minimum tax has changed from $700 to $1,200. The commercial minimum tax of $700 was replaced with a $1,000 base tax. And as well, you can see we use tax tools to create subclasses to alleviate the changes and shifts in assessment in most property classes, including residential, commercial, hotels, multifamily, and condos. This brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you for your time this evening. Do you have any questions?
Thank you for that. Councillor Waleser?
if you can just give an example to the community, because most people have looked at their notice of assessment in their mind. It might be easy to think, oh, my house is worth less this year, so I should expect to see a smaller tax bill come June. How does this affect individual homeowners?
Thank you. So it kind of all depends on what the assessment shifts were per property. So I'm just gonna see. So if you kind of fell within the average of the change per property class, then you shouldn't see a huge shift, if any, in your taxes. But if you are above the average change or below, then you will see a shift. So, sorry, I thought I had the comparisons here. Yeah, so it looks like on average, the residential properties changed 3%. For commercial properties, they went down on average 14%. So it kind of looks like residential properties overall did see an increase. So if you did see anything more than the 3% increase, then you can absolutely expect an increase in your taxes.
Okay. Yeah, so this, once we get these assessments all figured out this year, then we should be good until 2028, correct?
Yeah, so this reevaluation is the base date of January 1st, 2023, and this value will now hold until, for 4 more years.
Okay.
So it's unfortunate that these, like the start of a reval year, we're already 2 years behind in the market, but these are reflective of the market as of January 1st, 2023.
Salmon is just the gift that keeps giving.
Yes.
So we have a few of them to go through here. Oh, sorry, Councilor Leeser.
If community members have questions about their reassessment, what is the process for them?
Yeah, so I have on that information sheet that they can call my office directly at 634-1811, and then they can also use the resources that were included on that mail out that accompanied their assessment notice. Reaching out to SAMA using, going on to the SAMA view and viewing their property profile. And I would recommend for everyone to go on to SAMA view and view your property, because the onus is on the homeowner to identify any errors on there. So if you removed a garage years ago and didn't take out a demolition permit, then we wouldn't be advised of that. That's the trigger for us to remove that. So I would encourage everyone to be familiar with their assessment. And then if there is any changes or you see an error on there, then I would recommend filing an appeal. And you would have until May 27th to do so.
Thank you.
Okay, excellent. Seeing no more, we have 4 of them to run through, and these are all just first readings, so we'll be just looking for motions and seconders, and then we send it out to the world for a month, correct, City Clerk? 2 weeks? And then everybody can assess everything and ask questions then, and be ready for the next meeting of May 26th. So, bylaw 2025-2092. Bylaw to fix the rate of taxation. Do we have a motion to send this? Councillor Johnson, Councillor Dubowski, all in favor? Carried. Up next for the 2025-2093 bylaw to provide a bid levy. We have a motion to send this out there. Councillor Vroba, okay.
So just wanted to clarify, I get a lot of conversation that goes on about the bid levy. And so just to clarify, this is a levy that's put on the taxes of only the people who are in the bid group, right? They're in the downtown business area, so that $27,500 is not put on every homeowner, and then it is a city matching grant. So I will make that motion.
Make that motion, seconder out there. Councillor Johnson, all in favor? Carried. Up next, 2025, or bylaw 2025-2094. Provide for the library levy. We have a motion to send this out there. Councillor Dubowski, Councillor Elliott, all in favor? Carried. And the last one, 2025-2095.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Trina.
Yeah, so I would just like to identify that there was an error on this regional healthcare levy. So it is to generate $100,000, and the rate should read 0.0961 mils.
Okay. You got, City Clerk, you got that? Okay. So do we have a motion to accept that? Councillor Johnson. Seconded by Councillor Mouse. All in favor? Carried. We will be back in 2 weeks with those 4 bylaws. Thank you, Trina.
Yes, perfect, thank you.
Public hearings, nothing. Giving notice. we have quite the night of this. Economic Development Proclamation. Thank you for joining us, Rebecca. I'll read through the proclamation. Thank you for the long proclamation. Then I'll let you give her from there. So, Economic Development Week Proclamation. Whereas the province of Saskatchewan has declared May 17th, 11th to 17th, 2025, as Economic Development Week in Saskatchewan, and May the 12th, 2025, as Indigenous Economic Development Day, which is today, I guess, right? Whereas community and economic developers promote economic well-being and quality of life for their communities by creating, retaining, and expanding businesses that facilitate, enhance wealth, and provide stable tax base. Whereas community and economic developers stimulate and incubate entrepreneurism in order to help establish the next generation of new business, which is the foundation of Saskatchewan's economy. And whereas community and economic developers are engaged in a wide variety of settings, including rural, urban, local, First Nation, provincial, and federal governments, public-private partnerships, chambers of commerce, secondary schools, and a variety of other institutions. And whereas community and economic developers attract and retain high-quality jobs, develop vibrant communities, and improve the quality of life in their regions. And whereas community and economic developers work in the city of Estevan within the province of Saskatchewan, and now, therefore, be it resolved, I, Mayor Anthony Cernick, and the Council of the City of Estevan do hereby recognize May 11th to 17th, 2025 as Economic Development Week. We have a motion to accept this proclamation. Councillor Leeser, Councillor Dubowski, questions, comments, all in favor? Carried. There you go. We are Economic Development Week. The floor is yours.
Thanks, Your Worship. If it helps, the Saskatchewan Economic Development Alliance helped create this, so I didn't put all those big words in there. Just to highlight some events happening this week for Economic Development Week. Tomorrow, so Tuesday, May 13th, we're having a barbecue at the Dennis Moore Centennial Park. It is free for everyone to come to. The Southern Plains Co-op is happily sponsoring our food, so thank you so much to them. Affinity Credit Union is sponsoring ice cream for the first 50 people, so please come out, have some ice cream. It's Economic Development Week. It's for businesses, it's for entrepreneurs, but economic development is for the whole community. It's really important to showcase what we have in our community, and economic development is truly everything. It is the ice cream that you buy, it's the tours you take, it's the movies you attend, it truly is everything. So we're encouraging absolutely everybody to come out and to come have a great time. So that's tomorrow from 11:30 to 1. I have a very colorful poster. And then on May 14th at 6:30 p.m. we're having Chris Fields come to the Southeast College, and that's in partnership with Community Future Sunrise. And he's going to be speaking about economic development and just how to be a more positive leader in your community. His presentation is called Follow the Leader. That is, again, absolutely free for Economic Development Week. And because we're wanting to support our local businesses, we're encouraging everybody to bring their supper from a local business, a grocery store, or a coffee from a local place, or just whatever you want to do. Bring some food and support some of our local restaurants and businesses. And it is free to come, but please, if you can, sign up online at Community Future Sunrise's link. It's in everybody's packages, and it's on our economic development social media page. And then finally, just for the week, follow our social media page. We're just going to be doing the, tag your favorite business, tag your favorite oil field company. And, that engagement is really, really important for businesses. There's a lot of small businesses in this community that, really focus and rely on advertising on social media. So if you have a favorite business, please tag them when we put those posts out, and we'll go from there.
Excellent.
And thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for coming in tonight. All good information. Can't wait to have hot dogs and burgers tomorrow.
Oh, and thank you, Mayor Cernick, for barbecuing.
I'll be there barbecuing. And of course, you got to sample the odd one, right? So that's my favorite part. I guess we had the motion for the proclamation. Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you.
And we'll see you tomorrow. Excellent. Up next, the United Way proclamation. United Way Estevan Day of Caring. Whereas United Way Estevan Day of Caring is a full day of people helping people and giving back to the community. Whereas United Way assigns local volunteers to local projects and make a difference where we live. And whereas United Way's Estevan's Day of Caring organizes teams of volunteers to make significant positive impact for our community, assisting local individuals and non-profit agencies to complete projects in the spirit of caring. Be it therefore resolved, I, Anthony Cernick, Mayor of Estevan, the province of Saskatchewan, do hereby proclaim May 28th, 2025 as United Way, Estevan Day of Caring, and urge all citizens of Estevan to recognize, support the goals and objectives of the United Way, which we will do. So, I guess, do you want to speak first before we get?
Sure. Yeah,
Sure,
absolutely. Introduce myself. My name is Robert Godfrey. I'm a board member with United Way Estevan, and with me is Wendy Gustafson. She's also a board member and a co-chair for the United Way Day of Caring Committee. Councillor Varoba is the other co-chair for this committee, and we've got some other United Way members here. We've got our President Brittany behind me, a board member Linda, and also our board member Becca Ford is here as well. So we're really happy to be here today to tell you a bit about Day of Caring. We're going to turn it over to Wendy to tell you a bit about what we do on Day of Caring.
Okay, thank you, Your Worship, for having us here to talk about this. It is the support of the city and the surrounding area that has made our Day of Caring very successful for the number of years that we've done it. As you know, with our telethon, we have such great support, so we feel that at Day of Caring, it's a good time for us to give back to the community and to the people that have supported us. And basically what it is a day where we can go out into the community and do projects for people that aren't able to do these projects on their own. And we have a lot of volunteers that come and do this. We can't obviously on our own as a board do it on our own, but we have a lot of volunteers. And we meet at 9 in the morning, and we have morning projects, we have afternoon projects, and we have some all-day projects. So when people sign up, they let us know if they're able to work in the morning or the afternoon or the full day. So we've got a little bit of everything. The kinds of things we do, we plant plants, we rake lawns, we've painted fences. We even washed ceilings in the garage, which I made a comment to Councillor Varoba one time. That would be a horrible job. And our volunteer didn't show up to do it, and we were washing the garage ceiling, and we did a good job. And you know what? The people are so appreciative of anything that we do for them. And part of the Day of Caring is just being there sometimes for people that maybe don't have the support, and they love to stand and visit. And so we have a barbecue at noon, and we encourage the people that we are doing the projects for and our volunteers to come. And we have lots of volunteers to help with that. So it's just a really warm, feel-good day that we can really help the people in this community give back to those that have really been supportive to us. So I'll let Robert tell a little bit of how you can sign up. I just want to make note that I did find out we have more volunteers and projects, so we really need people to let us know if you know of somebody that needs a project done. We need to, I'll let Robert explain how to get a hold of our people.
Absolutely. We have until the end of this week to get your projects submitted. So you can do that by visiting our website, unitedwayestevan.com. You can go to the Day of Caring section, and it has all the information on how to submit a project. What's really nice is you can go in, submit your project right from online. It makes it super easy. We get it immediately, and then we can get you all signed up from there. If you aren't as comfortable with that, we do have options. You can call our office at 634-7375. That's 634-7375, and you can talk to Heidi. You can also reach her by email at heidi.hesselink@unitedwayestevan.com. Lots of options to get that information in. And again, this is the last week to submit your projects. Once you submit them, we will review them, contact you with any questions, and then you'll be ready to go for our Day of Caring.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Councillor Varoba.
Thank you, Your Worship. I will make the motion to support this, but I also wanted to say everybody needs to just don't be shy about the projects, because sometimes people think, well, I don't really need the help, someone needs it more. But even if you have a neighbor who's elderly, someone who maybe even is younger but can't quite physically get out and do their yard work, just that spring cleanup sometimes it's just washing of the windows. And then we also have sunshine baskets. And so sunshine baskets are something, it's just a small token, but the real meaning behind those baskets came out in COVID. And so what that is where we just want to get to your house, say hello to you, give you a little token, but more importantly, visit with you and just let you know that you live in a caring community like Estevan, and we are all this community. So like my two partners said, sign up for projects, sign up for volunteering, sign up for any way you can. We also have a barbecue that day that'll only be open to volunteers and projects, and so if you want in on that barbecue, you got to sign up. Thank Thank you.
For that. We have a second there for this. Councillor Dubowski, any more questions, comments? All in favor? You are proclaimed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for coming in tonight. Always supported so good. Councillor Leeser, would this maybe the golden garbage can make an appearance this day somewhere? Or did I just ruin all 10 people
Respectfully, Your
watching?
Worship, Weyburn is keeping lock and key on that garbage can. It is right in the center of their council chambers so they can admire it during their meetings, so.
So this is an excellent tool for us to earn that stinking garbage can. Good. Excellent. Up next, thank you guys at One United Way for coming in and all that you do, for sure. Up next, what do we got? Application for Estevan LGBTQ and Allies social gatherings. We're doing a proclamation for Pride Month of June of 2025, and then also raising the flag on June 16th and lighting the water tower on June 16th. Strix, you want to say anything?
Absolutely, I would like to. So, for those who do not know, my name is Strix. I am the co-founder of the Estevan LGBTQ+ and Allies social gathering. In recent terms, it is a brand new queer support group that is designed by queer people and for queer people. And we did mention that the Weyburn seems to have their golden trash can under lock and key. The main reason it does exist is in part because last year, Weyburn Pride actually ran a few events in our city, which maybe a little bit irked, maybe a little bit of a sisterly rivalry with that city as well. Why not do it within our community from people within the community? That inspired the Estevan LGBTQ+ and Allies social gathering, which has seen a tremendous attendance every single month that we run it. And the positive benefits that have come from such a gathering, such a support group, has been tremendous. When the other co-founder and I had created this group, we were running it under the guise that it would help others. What I hadn't really considered is how much it would help me as well. Being able to be in community with other people who are just like me, who feel scared or fearful of the community here for one reason or another, whether it is based on real, genuine threat, or if it is just out of a simple social anxiety. We have been able to encourage each other to be more authentic, be more ourselves, and I've been able to do so as well and discover many things about myself that I hadn't previously known. And that is as a direct result of not just Weyburn taking the initiative to ensure that Estevan had events like what happened last year, but also small symbolic gestures like flag raising in front of the City Hall. And I would like to repeat that this year, but as a representative of the Estevan LGBTQ and Allies social gathering, a group of individuals within the city who are queer and are here and want to feel that this community is safe for us to be.
Good. Thank you for coming in tonight. So do we have a motion to accept proclamation? Councillor Leeser, Councillor Dubowski. Questions, comments? Councillor Leeser?
Thank you, Your Worship, and thank you, Strix, for coming tonight. I think this is one of those topics that feels that it has the potential to be polarizing, and yet we all live in Canada where this is a federally recognized event. Not only does Canada nationally celebrate Pride Month, but they've now gone a step further and declared Pride season extending from June through the end of September, specifically to address stigma, violence, inequity when it comes to economic opportunities and healthcare access, and being able to have those conversations in Estevan for the month of June is incredibly important. Thank you.
Thank you. Everybody else is good? Awesome. All in favor? Carried. You are proclaimed. Thanks for coming in tonight.
Thank you very much, Council.
Yeah.
Thank you.
One more tonight, giving notice, clean sweep campaign. So again, this goes hand in hand with another tool for the old golden garbage can, which we're gonna bring home. What do we got? There's a lot going on here. Tuesday, May 20th, sweeping entrances, Wednesday, May 21st. cleaning around Thursday, May 22nd, north side of the city. Crews will be helping you clean, sweep by picking up your contained organic waste materials. Just leave it out front in your yard, something like that, city manager, okay? And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday is free landfill weekend, so let's get everything cleaned up, looking good, and like I said, bring that golden garbage can, that's tough to say that, actually. Back to Estevan where it belongs and out of Weyburn hands, so Councillor Verova.
Thank you, Worship. I just wanted to do a little shout out to No Frills Grocery Store because I have noticed that they have somebody hired that comes out every night and he cleans that entire parking lot. And he goes from one end to the other. He does all of the surrounding areas of No Frills. And so it is a very clean property. And I just think that actually this weekend he was out doing the lawn too, and I thought, geez, he does it all. But good for him and good for No Frills for being that kind of community company that actually hires someone to do that, because there are some places in Estevan that have a lot of garbage along a fence line or different things. So if we could all become those community businesses, community people who could just look outside our area and see if there's something that we can clean up, then we can kick that can from Weyburn over to our end. So I will make the motion that we do the proclamation.
Excellent, seconded by Councillor Mouse. Any more questions, comments out there? All in favor? Clean sweep campaign of May. We're ready to go. Motions from committee, nothing. Consideration of bylaws. Bylaw 2025-2091. Bylaw of the City of Estevan to amend zoning. Being a bylaw of the City of Estevan to regulate the use of land and location of buildings, other structures in the City of Estevan, whereas the city has sponsored an application to amend bylaw 2022-2061 to allow for the creation of additional residential estate lots on Trader Street. You want to come on up and give us anything additional to add tonight?
Thank you, Your Worship and Council. We have not received any further correspondence or verbal or otherwise from interested parties on this proposal since the last council meeting.
Okay, excellent. Do we have a motion for a second reading to accept this bylaw? Councillor Mouse, Councillor Elliott, you were seconded there? Excellent. Any more questions, comments on this? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. And up next is bylaw 2025-29. Oh, we got to go for third reading. So do we have a motion for third reading of bylaw 2025? Councillor Verova, Councillor Elliott. Questions, comments out there? All in favor? We are bylawed. Bylaw 2025-2090, road closure bylaw for Trader Street. The city has sponsored an application to amend to allow for the creation of additional, oh no, sorry, that's the wrong one. The Council of City of Estevan has deemed it expedient to legally close the westernmost 4 meters of the public roadway adjoining lot 11, block 28, plan M4 929 for the purpose of consultation with, what's that word? With the said lot, consultation. I can't spit it out. We have a motion to accept the road closure of Trader Street. Councillor Weleaser, Councillor Johnson, seconded by. Questions, comments, all in favor? Third reading, can we have a motion to accept the third reading of this? Councillor Elliott, Councillor Mouse. Questions, comments, seeing none, all in favor? We are bylawed. We're already at inquiries. Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Councillor Cernick. So with the approval of these bylaws, there will be some additional lots available. On the north side of that, we will be looking for interested parties over the next couple of weeks for those north lots. So if you are interested, please let us know and we will move forward. I'd like to keep them open for the next 10 business days to see the interest on those. So I'll be reaching out to parties that were previously interested, but just to throw that out there.
Thank you for that. Inquiries, Councillor Verova.
Thank you, Worship. So I had quite a few inquiries that were contacting me this past couple of weeks. A lot of them were bylaw related. Again, there was some of them that specifically 901 King Street was an unsightly property and is being noticed by many. However, they are cleaning it up. So kudos to our bylaw, because I think they've been educating them on how they cannot just throw heaps of garbage out into their yard and leave it there. So keep cleaning 901 King Street. You're doing good, just needs a little more. The other thing is unsightly, like properties in general. Again, we talked about that with the clean sweep, and then also vehicles parked on the road. So there are bylaws about that as well. So again, if it's parked too long, especially bigger vehicles, they will be out looking for that. And another one was people panhandling in the city. So it is against Estevan bylaws for people to panhandle in the city of Estevan. So often I will see on social media, or I will talk to people and they will say, well, there's someone over there by so-and-so and they were trying to, you know, they had a sign, they were looking for money. Please call that in to the city police. They will go out and speak to that individual and let them know that they are not allowed to panhandle. So again, in order to keep our community safe, and those people can be directed to different services to receive funding through social services, et cetera, other avenues. But panhandling is not accepted in the city of Estevan. So if we all work together and call it in, eventually people will get the message that that is not allowed. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Councillor Mouse. Councillor Elliott.
Yes, Your Worship. I guess I'm really just saving myself an email to Jeff. I've had a couple of people approach me about when you're coming in from the west and you're driving a semi, at night the sign isn't always that easy to spot when they're supposed to turn up past DDS and McDonald's instead of going straight through on 4th. So that was just something about possibly improving visibility. Email saved.
Okay, and I can say the traffic board committee will take that. We've been looking at truck traffic coming in from all, you know, seeing the signs. The signs are getting missed, so we will add that to the discussion for sure. City treasurer, nothing tonight. Assistant city clerk, Josh.
Nothing, Your Worship.
Councillor Dubowski. Councillor Johnson.
It's nice to see some of the summer students that have come on board with the City of Estevan in the last couple of weeks. They're out there picking up garbage with their long sticks and their bags. It was nice to see them today weed whipping some of the boulevards that are in the city along 13th Avenue. And it's nice to see them out at the airport doing crack filling and learning quite a bit, actually, from what we can teach them here in the city of Estevan, these students. And it's so nice to see that, you know, they come into the city of Estevan and they're working so hard in order to achieve all their goals and make a little money. So I welcome them, you know, into the city and on staff. And it's nice to see that we can find good employment for them. So really appreciate their efforts. Thank you.
Excellent, thanks for that. Councillor Waleser.
Thank you, Your Worship. A couple notes of appreciation tonight. Our community rallied behind the Estevan Early Years Family Resource Center and the Estevan Youth Center by raising $50,000 through the Smile Cookie campaign that put Estevan as the #1 in all of Saskatchewan for their fundraising efforts. So thank you to everybody that participated and volunteered with that program. All of those funds directly benefit children 0 to 18 in Estevan. Also, McHappy Day was this past week, and Councillor Vroba and I were able to celebrate with the community the welcome news that there will be a Ronald McDonald House opening in Regina to provide services for those in our community that are needing to travel with their children for health care. I also wanted to just remind our community that it is National Nurses Week, and that especially post-COVID, I think sometimes it's easy to forget just how taxing it can be to be in the healthcare system, and to really take a minute and thank those that are looking after those in our community. Thank you.
Thank you for that. City Manager.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just on a personal note, we do have our Lobster Fest coming up June 6th. So if you know a Rotarian or you need tickets, please contact them or myself. Thanks.
Excellent. City Clerk. Nothing tonight. And I just want to acknowledge the legacy of Jim Spence there. You see his picture out front there. Oh, sorry. There, I'll hold that. You see the picture of Jimmy there? Obviously, he was a pillar of our community. World War II veteran, Legion member, entrepreneur, and nobody, excuse me, nobody loved Estevan more than Jimmy right there. He was 98 years old and draped in the city of Estevan flag. So rest in peace, Jim. That's all I got.
If you'd like to share your feedback on the program you just watched, contact us today